Oh, what is up, high school? Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome back to another week of CP Students Live online. Pumped you guys decided to hang out with us tonight. Hope you guys are doing well. If you don't know me, I'll put my name on the screen that way you can see it, but you might already know me if you don't. Here it is. My name is Logan. I'm the student pastor here at Centerpoint, so I'm just glad you guys decided to join us tonight. Again, this is our high school gathering for 9th through 12th graders, and so just excited that you guys decided to come and hang out with us tonight. It's been a couple weeks. Last week we took a little break for Easter. Hope it was good. Hope you guys had some good quality time with your family, which I know you guys have all been doing a lot of that lately anyway, so hopefully last week was special, but we're glad to be back tonight and hanging out with you guys, and so yeah, thanks for joining us and coming into my house here and hanging out with me. This is our new student room is my living room, so again, good to see you guys. Say hey in the chat. If you say something and it takes a little while for me to respond, again, it's a delay. There's a weird delay in the chat, so it's like 20 seconds or so before I even see anything. But so hey guys, hope you're doing well. Hey Scott, I see you out there. Man, tonight's gonna be a good night. I'm pretty excited. We're starting a new series tonight, which we're gonna jump into a little bit later. Colton has got a couple worship songs for you tonight, which are awesome. We're going to play a game. We've got another short video for you to show in just a second. But yeah, it's going to be a great night. If you haven't yet and you want to invite a friend, share the link to the live stream right now with them. It's easy. It's such an easy way to invite a person to church with you, you can just literally send them a link and they can click from wherever they are and join us. So I would encourage you guys to share that link with people, and then bring them in. It's going to be a good time, and then we'll go off to small groups with your small group leaders and Zoom calls after we're done here. And hey, we're going to get started here in just a second. Before we do that, I have a fun little video. If you don't know him, our intern, his name is Micah. He's in the chat, as well as Colton. He's our student worship pastor. Both of them are in the chat. They'll be hanging out. So make sure you say hello to them. But Micah is known around our office sometimes to make bold statements. We'll just leave it at that. And so we decided that we were going to give him 60 seconds to say whatever he wanted about a specific subject. And we're going to keep doing this. This is going to be kind of a recurring series for us. So without further ado, I give you the very first Micah's Minute. Check it out.
What's up, guys? On this Micah Minute, we are going to be talking about tacos. And this, oh, I'm excited. This is one of my favorites. So I gotta hurry about this. And as you guys know, tacos, they're amazing, right? Like, tacos, the food itself, it's amazing. But even further than that, the most amazing thing about tacos, the most amazing taco in the whole wide world, is where? You guys know the answer. Taco Bell. Oh my goodness. Taco Bell is God's gift, I think. You know, like, God has many gifts that He gives us, but Taco Bell is one of those. Taco Bell is the best fast food in the world. Like, it just simply is. Their tacos, best tacos in the world. I'm sorry, Colton. I know you're gonna hate me for that. It's the best authentic taco in the world. I don't care what anybody says. The cheese is melted perfectly. The seasoned beef. Yeah, they skimp you a little bit on the beef, but that's okay. The taste is just 10 out of 10. Would recommend to not beat a Taco Bell taco. And I want you to try. Tell me if you think something can beat a Taco Bell taco, because I will tell you it can't. Tacos are arguably the best food in the world, especially if it's from Taco Bell.
So there you have it. Again, we don't control him. He just says whatever comes to his brain. And we just let him say it. I mean, the man just said that Taco Bell had the most authentic and the best tacos. So, I mean, they're good. Don't get me wrong, and they're cheap. It's awesome. You can get a solid meal for, under $5-6 at Taco Bell. But the best tacos, that's shady for sure. Yeah. But again, Micah's Minute. That was episode 1. We'll have episode 2 next week for you, so make sure you join back in. If you like that video and you just would like to share Micah's absurd thoughts, feel free to do it. It's on our YouTube page now. So subscribe to this page and you'll see that video as well as other videos down the road. All right, so we're going to move on to a game, which we love playing games here. I love playing games. This game involves you, and so you need to get in the chat in order to play this game, and it's very simple. All I'm going to do is throw a picture on the screen of a landmark, and all I need you to do is basically tell me where that landmark is. And so it will be different. I'll tell you before each one that I throw up what I need from you. Most of them, it's like what the landmark is and the country it's in, or I may just give you, tell me what city this is in the country or city and state, whatever. So I'll tell you what you need to do. But, we played this game this morning with our middle schoolers. It's a little different version for you guys here. I added some new ones, and they're a little bit trickier, hopefully, but some of them are the same. So if you're in middle school this morning as a leader, you're lucky. You might have a few answers already, but I'm looking for the first person in the chat to get these right. So here we go. We're going to play virtually anywhere. And again, I'm going to put up, you need to be the first person, basically name the famous landmark that is on the screen. And that's how it's going to go. So for this first one, I need what the landmark is and the country that it is in. Ready? Landmark and country. Go. What is this? Where is it? What is this? 1, it is beautiful. Where is that? I want to see the first answers. The first person to get it correct in the chat. Let's see what we got here going on in this chat. I got no answers yet. The correct answer, though, is Niagara Falls in Canada. It's also partially in the USA, too. That could be either one. I'll take either one, honestly. Corey was first in on that. Canada, U.S., either one would work, I would say. But most people are saying America. Yes, correct answer. So good job, guys. Well done. A lot of people there. David Wells, Buffalo, not a country, but that is close. It's near Buffalo, but again, not a country. So sorry about that one. All right, here we go. Next one. All I need is the name of this landmark and the country again that it is in. Easy, people. Easy. This is easy. This is easy. This is easy. Great Wall in China. Let's see who's first on it. Let's see who is first on this. Great Wall of China is what we're looking for. Bramble. Mr. Bramble. Well done. First one there. Scott, still not Paris, France, but good try. I like where your head's at. Not Paris, France. Taylor, it's not the Great Wall of Panda Express, but that would be quite a wall to see. I'll tell you that much. Okay, again, next one. Landmark and country. Landmark and country. Here we go. What is this? Where are we? Landmark and country. Never been there, but it is on my bucket list to go. That'd be pretty dope, for sure. But name the landmark and country. Let's see what we got here. The correct answer is the Great Sphinx in Egypt. Taylor Jackson. Way to go, Taylor. First one on there, on the board in Egypt. She didn't say what it was, but she just said it was Egypt, so that's half correct. Andrew, it's not the opening scene in Mulan. But it is Egypt. The Sphinx, Egypt. Nice job, guys. Well done. Well done. All right, next one. Now, this is tough. I'm going to be honest with you. I did not know this one until this game came. So I've seen this before, but I had no idea what it was called or where. I think I kind of knew where it was. But here we go again. Name the landmark. This is the hardest part, is the landmark, and then the country that it is in. What is that? What is this landmark, and what country is it in? Again, this one is not an easy one. This one's tough. Let's see what we got. Correct answer is, and I'm going to completely butcher this with the pronunciation, so don't judge me for it, but it is Chichen Itza is what it's called, I believe. And it is in Mexico. Peter Bramble got it in Mexico. Gabby is in Mexico, got it. Well done. Mayan Temple, Earth. Katie Cooper, not quite. I mean, close, though. It is probably an Aztec temple, I would assume. I don't really know much about, Aztec history, but I think that is probably that. It's not Machu Picchu, Zach, but close. Square Pyramid, David. I like that. It's a good call. All right, this one. Here we go. This one's easy. Landmark and country. What is this? The landmark and country. What is it? Not exactly on my bucket list of places to go, but it would be pretty sweet to see. I will say that. It would be pretty sweet. But what is this? This is the Taj Mahal in India. This is the Taj Mahal in India. Let's see what we have here. Peter Bramble is on it today. Peter Bramble first again. Taj Mahal in India. Well done. I like Taj Mahal, though. We should rename it Taj Mahal. I like that, Chris. That's solid. Taj Mahal. Yeah, Taj Mahal in India. Correct answer. Nice job. Nice job indeed. All right. Here we go. Next one. This one, all I need is the city. The city and country that this is in. City and country. Don't need the name of the specific landmark, but I need city and country. This is Drake's hometown, people. He's running through the 6. It's Toronto, Canada. Toronto, Canada. Let's see who we got in this one. Who is correct in first? Not. I'm looking for Toronto specifically. I see Ontario, which I think Toronto is a part of Ontario. I'm not 100% sure on my geography there of Canada, but Noah Rauch got it right. Toronto, Canada. First person correct. Well done. Nice job. All right, we have 3 more that I'm going to give you, and then we're going to move on. And these are going to be pretty tricky. This one I did not know, so I want to see if you guys know this one, where it is specifically. I'll take 2 acceptable answers for where. I need to know what this place is called, and kind of where is it. And there's kind of 2 answers I'll take. So here we go. What is this? What is this? This is Easter Island, which is in the Pacific Ocean. Technically, I believe it's part of Chile. So I would accept Pacific Ocean or Chile in this scenario. But it's Easter Island. Peter Bramble, got it. A lot of you guys got this one. Face People. Yeah, Rebecca, that is a good name for it, but it's not called Face People, surprisingly enough. No one put exactly where it was, but I'll take it. You guys got Easter Island. Well done. Well done. All right, here we go. 2 more, people. 2 more. Let's see what we have got here. Let's go with this one. Where is this? I need the name of this place and the country that it is in. The name of this place and the country. The name and country of this place. This is Victoria Falls. And it is in Zambia. Let's see. Waterfall Earth? No. Waterfall from Up? No. Victoria Falls is right, Andrew, but it's not Congo. At least what I have is Zambia. It could be wrong. I don't know. It might be Congo. But it is Victoria Falls. Andrew Munson on top, getting his due. You're welcome. Give this man the respect that he is due, all right? He has been up there the entire time, and I've just been looking over him for Peter Bramble. I mean, I'll admit it straight out. I have. So give the man his due. He's getting it. Congratulations. All right, last one. Here we go. Last one. I need the name of this landmark, the city, and the country that it is in. Here we go. Name of the landmark, city, and country. What is it? The correct answer is Christ the Redeemer statue, and that is Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. Scott, still not Paris. I applaud your attempt at all of those to get Paris, but it's not Paris. I don't have the Eiffel Tower one in here this time, unfortunately. Sorry, man. Peter Bramble got it again. Rio de Janeiro. Didn't say what it is. Most of y'all are close. Jesus statue. I didn't know there was actually a technical name, Christ the Redeemer statue, but I'll give it to you guys. Well done. Nice job. Yeah, that was you guys. I'm impressed actually. I wasn't sure how that game was going to go. I wasn't very good at it, to be honest with you. When I first saw these, I was like, man, I have a lot of traveling to do because I don't know most of these places. So, but I would like to go to them. They look pretty cool. Anyway, hey, thanks again for joining us. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Really appreciate it. Man, like I said, I'm pumped. We're starting a new series tonight. It's called The You Effect. And we're going to be talking about the effect that you have on people. And for some of you, that may be like, you're like, I don't really know exactly what that means, or you may think you don't have an impact or an effect on people. Some of you may think you do, but in reality, it may look a little different. So we're going to talk about that tonight, and I'm pretty excited about it. And then we're going to send you guys up small groups to talk about it with your small group leaders. And that's really where the life change happens. And if you don't have a small group and you want to get connected, just make sure you say something in the chat. Colton and Mike are in there, and they will get you connected with this small group leader, which, like I said, we believe in small groups. It's the most important part of what we do, and we're really, really excited about getting you guys connected and engaged in small groups. So that is where we're going. But before we do that, I've got a couple things to tell you, and I also am going to have Colton lead us in a few worship songs, which is going to be awesome. So I'm going to throw it to him in just a second. He's got a song, and then it's going to go straight into our teaching video, and then come back to me, and then Colton's going to wrap us up with one more song, and then we'll kind of close out at the end and move on into small groups. So, man, in this next few minutes, I would just encourage you guys. I know it's weird and you're at home or whatever, you're by yourself, and you're not in a group of people worshiping, but you can still have a great worship experience at your house and at home. And so I would encourage you. The words are going to be on the screen, so you can sing along if you want, but maybe spend the next few minutes just kind of focusing on God, focusing your ears, your hearts, your minds on Him, and just ask Him for just wisdom and whatever He wants to say to you in the next 15 to 20 minutes or so. So you guys check it out. Enjoy worship with Colton, and then I'll be back in just a minute.
When darkness tries to roll over my bones, when sorrow comes to steal the joy I owe, when brokenness and pain is all I know, I won't be shaken. No, I won't be shaken. 'Cause my fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. Shame no longer has a place to hide. I am not a captive to the lies. I'm not afraid to leave my past behind. Oh, I won't be shaken. No, I won't be shaken. Oh no, 'cause my fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. There's power that can break off every chain. There's power that can empty out a grave. There's resurrection power that can save. There's power in your name. Power in your name. 'Cause my fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. When I'm standing in your love, 'cause my fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. My fear doesn't stand a chance when I stand in your love. When I'm standing in your love. in your love.
All right, so like I told you guys, we're starting this new series called The You Effect tonight, and I wanted to tell you a quick story about a buddy of mine from when I was a kid. Really, I'm not a kid, in high school. I knew him when I was in middle school, but we weren't really super good friends at the point yet. But I got to know him in high school because he was in my small group in my student ministry. His name is Jake, and Jake was one of those people that he's super fun, comes up with crazy ideas sometimes. They're always kind of borderline, maybe we shouldn't do this, maybe we should do that. But he was always a super fun dude to hang out with, right? You guys all probably have that person in your life. You could probably think of him. But I loved hanging out with Jake because he always had really a positive impact on me. Even when we did stupid stuff sometimes, ultimately, he was trying to live for Jesus, and so had a good positive impact on me. And we always had a ton of fun around him, me and Jake and some of our buddies in our small group. I mean, it was just people that were around Jake were always just infected with positivity. And I think that's so cool. And I don't know about you or not, but like I said, I'm sure we all kind of have that friend or that person that we know of. You can picture them in your mind. And it's that person that has a huge effect on the people around them, right? Whether they know it or not. They have a huge impact on the person around him. And so that's who Jake was for me. It's those are the type of people, it's just fun to hang out with them. Everyone wants to be around them. They're nice. They make you feel you feel really, really good when you're around that person. A lot of times they work really hard to help other people out, or they're a really good teammate, right? You know the type of people that I'm talking about. And then also, the type of people where it's maybe the opposite, right? You meet someone that is, kind of mean, and sometimes you're on edge around them just because of how mean they are, or they're always in a bad mood and ticked off, and so they bring down the mood that everyone else is kind of feeling, right? Or maybe there's other people like that, they're so loud. Maybe it's me even, because I'm loud, all right? And I understand. If this is me in your life, I'm really sorry about it, and I apologize. But some people are just so loud, you just have to talk over them, right? The whole room gets louder because that person walks in the room, because now everyone's got to talk louder, right? And again, if that's me for you, I'm really sorry, and don't hate me. But the point is, whether it's a good effect or a not so good effect, here's what's true about nearly everybody that has a significant effect on the people around them, is that they don't really think about it. They just don't, they don't really think about it that much. I think that's true of me. I don't think about my impact that often. And it's probably the same for you. You probably don't think that often about your impact or your effect that you're having on the people around you. And see, that's what makes this series so interesting and so tricky. And for the next few weeks, we're going to kind of dive into this idea, talking about the you effect, right? How you affect the people around you and the situations around you. In other words, we're talking about influence. And some of you, your influence is obvious, right? Some of you, you're the captain of your sports team. You're the first chair in orchestra or band. I think that's right. If that's wrong, I'm sorry. I don't know anything about orchestra or band because I'm musically challenged, very, very, very challenged. So if that's wrong, I apologize. But that's a leadership position. Or maybe you're on student council, or you may even have a leadership role at our church as a small group leader. Whatever it is, though, you have influence, and your influence, it may be obvious. Now, for some of you, you're like, dude, I'm not going to, beat around the bush. I don't really have a whole lot of influence. I don't really have a whole lot of impact. I don't really affect a ton of people. The me effect you're talking about, that, it's zero, right? It's zero. And either way, it's totally normal for you to think that, either way. Well, the truth is this: no matter what you think about, like your whole influence thing, right? No matter what you think about that influence, it's possible, it's even probable that we don't realize how much the you effect or the me effect there really is, or what could happen because of it. Like we don't realize how big of a deal that is to us. And so tonight we're going to look at a story in the Bible, and it's a story that you've probably heard if you've been around church a million times. You could probably quote it. I don't even have to put the words on the screen. I'm going to, but we don't even really have to because you know the story. And this takes place in the book of John. So if you have your Bibles, you can flip over to John chapter 6, which is where we're going to live tonight. And Jesus is traveling around an area. He's been around kind of going on 3 years of ministry at this point, and he's got crowds that are like, they're popping off, right? They're pumped to see Jesus. Almost every single place he goes, there's crowds of people following him, right? And it could be because they just had heard about Jesus, or maybe they wanted healing, or they needed something, or they were just curious. But whatever the reason, here's the point: is Jesus had a lot of influence. He had a lot of influence, and people were just always around him. Which, I mean, that makes sense, knowing the stories that you know now about Jesus, and you know the whole everything the Bible says. You're like, well, yeah, it makes sense. Jesus had a lot of influence for sure, Logan. Like that makes sense. So we're going to pick up here, like I said, in the book of John, chapter 6, verse 1, and just kind of bop through this real quick. So check out what it says here. So sometimes after this, Jesus crossed to the far shore of the Sea of Galilee, that is the Sea of Tiberias, and a great crowd of people followed him because they saw the signs he had performed by healing the sick. Then Jesus went up on a mountainside and sat down with the disciples, and the Jewish Passover festival was near. So when Jesus looked up and saw a great crowd coming toward him, he said to Philip, "Where shall we buy bread for these people to eat?" Now, before we go any further, I want to kind of stop there because I think this is interesting. That Jesus is like, look, I know exactly what I'm going to do already, right? But he's asking Philip, Philip, what do you want to do, man? How are we going to get bread for these people? And I don't know if like Jesus is just saying this to like just joke around with Philip, because like I said, he knew what he was going to do. But imagine being Philip in that moment. You're like, that's weird, Jesus. I don't really know. And so it goes on and says he asked him this only to test him, for he had already had in mind what he was going to do. Obviously, Jesus knew exactly what he was going to do. But credit to Philip, because here's what Philip says. He answers him, "It would take more than half a year's wages to buy enough bread for each one to have a bite." Kudos, Philip. That's a strong answer there, right? And just think about it for a minute. Like I said, that's kind of funny. Like you just wouldn't. I mean, if you were in Philip's situation, what would you say? Like what does that look like? You're like, yo, Jesus, if you're the miracle guy, I'm just one of your disciples. Like I'm here helping you out. I don't know exactly how to figure this out. Like it's gonna take a lot of money to feed this many people. Like, could you imagine too, like sending someone to McDonald's to order like 5,000 double cheeseburger combo meals? Like that would be nuts, right? I've ordered a lot from like Wendy's before for you guys, or big stuff, or a Sunday night, and I've had people be like, "Hey, this is weird," and it is. But just imagine that for a minute. Like that would be bizarre. But anyway, that's not what happens. Obviously, Jesus already has in mind what he's going to do, and the verses continue, and it says this: "Another of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, spoke up. 'Here's a boy with 5 small barley loaves and 2 small fish. But how far will they go among so many?'" Right? And so apparently there was only one mom in this small town or village that decided to send her kid with food to this thing. So everyone else just was chilling with no food. And one kid was like, "Yeah, I'm going to pack a little brown bag lunch. It's going to be great." And so that's when Jesus basically takes over. He says this. He says, "Have the people sit down." There was plenty of grass in that place, and they sat down. There was about 5,000 men were there. Now, that doesn't even count. We talk about the story all the time, Jesus feeding the 5,000. We're really only saying and talking about the fact that Jesus fed 5,000 men. What you don't count in this is there actually were probably women and children there as well that he also fed that aren't even in this count. So really, it's a crazier number than 5,000. But here's what Jesus does. He takes the loaves, gave thanks, and distributed to those who were seated as much as they wanted. He did the same thing with the fish. When they all had enough to eat, he said to his disciples, "Gather the pieces that are left over. Let nothing be wasted." So they gathered them and filled 12 baskets with the pieces of the 5 barley loaves left over by those who had eaten. After the people saw the signs Jesus performed, they began to say, "Surely this is the prophet who has come into the world." So, this is like, obviously, it's the story of Jesus feeding the 5,000. You know that. It's a crazy story when you think about it from the perspective of what happens. Like, Jesus obviously is a miracle worker because he just fed thousands of people with such a small amount of food, right? 5 loaves and 2 fish, and he fed thousands of people with it. It's insane. But here's kind of my question for you in this is this: who had the biggest impact in the story? Like, who had the biggest impact? I mean, you have Jesus, and obviously there's tons of influence there. And you're like, that's probably the answer, right, Logan? I mean, that makes sense. Jesus. Biggest impact here, no doubt. And yeah, like he in the end, in this account, like a large crowd was calling him a prophet because of the miracle he'd performed. So there's a lot of impact happening there. And then you have the disciples, who they probably had a lot of impact just by associating with Jesus. But here's the thing. Here's what's kind of cool, and I've never really thought about this story like this before. But I think honestly, the real star of this story is not who you'd think it'd be, but it's the boy with lunch. It's the boy with the lunch, because at first it seems like the opposite, right? How could a kid with some bread and fish be influential? But the truth is this: it wasn't the amount of what he had that allowed him to make a difference. It was his willingness to use what he had that made him influential. Like, that's what this is all about. The only thing that mattered was that the boy brought all he had, and it was enough. Like, that's the only thing that matters in the story, is that the boy had what he had, and he brought it all. He gave it all to Jesus. And ultimately, this was about the power of Jesus and what Jesus was capable of doing through someone who was willing to be used to offer what he had. And that's exactly what this little boy does. I mean, could you imagine that conversation, right? When he gets home, like with his mom later that day, and he's probably like, she's like, "Hey, how did it go?" And he was like, "Well, there was tons of people there, and they picked my lunch, and they made my lunch into lunch for the entire like squad of people, like thousands of people." Like, that's insane. Could you imagine that conversation with your mom, right? Like, this kid probably never thought his influence would be like this. He never thought that he would be a part of this story. And it didn't matter, because here's the thing. Here's the thing that I love about this story is this kid didn't take the stage. He didn't take the stage. He wasn't well known. He wasn't in a position of leadership. He wasn't a speaker. He wasn't a preacher. He wasn't super athletic or popular or academic. He wasn't one of the cool kids or interesting enough that like only the writer could tell us his name. Like, no, it wasn't. There was nothing special that it seemed about this kid. He just brought all that he had because it was enough. And ultimately, Jesus did something amazing through that. And I just love that part of this story. Like, it gets me pumped up to think about the fact that, man, this kid just brought it. He brought everything he had. It had so much impact, more than he could have ever imagined. And that's the point where we're landing tonight, is you have more of an effect than you think. You have more of an effect than you think. See, and I think the way that we see influence needs to change, because it's time that we begin to realize that having influence and impact is really just being willing to do something with what you have. Right? No matter how big or how small what you have is, like, it's just a matter of being willing to do something with what you have. And see, in other words, having an impact, it's not about doing more or having more or knowing more than other people. It's really about offering whatever it is that you already have to those around you. It's about choosing to believe, even when it seems unbelievable, that you have an effect on your friend group, or you have an effect on that section of the band, or you have an effect on your teammates or your siblings or your classmates. You have an effect on all those people. And just imagine what God could do with the you effect in the world around you. Like, even if that feels impossible, or seems like you don't really have a ton of effect or seems crazy, just allow your mind to consider the possibility, like for 1 second, that this little boy's lunch did something so huge that he never could have seen that influence coming. And that could be you. You could do the exact same thing with something so little. It could potentially change in something in a huge, huge way. Your influence could be gigantic with just the little that you have. And here's the thing. As you guys think about this, I want you to consider a couple questions. And I really not consider a couple questions. I want you to take a few steps as you consider what we're talking about here. And the first thing I want you to do is I want you to identify the who. Who are the immediate people in front of you that you have potential to influence? And right now, it's probably your family, because you don't really see other people at this point. I know that. Like, you're just chilling at home with your family. And so right now, the who, I can already tell you, is your family for the most part. Now, granted, don't limit it to just that. I know that some of you still are obviously hanging out with your friends via FaceTime or Google Hangouts or whatever, or you're playing video games with them, or you're doing Netflix party with them, whatever it is, you still are hanging out with your friends, so you still have a chance to influence them. But your family is right now immediately in front of you. So identify that who, but even once we get back to like kind of the real world, like, and life starts to normalize at least a little bit, identify those people who you have the influence around. Is it your team? Is it your classmates? Is it the people in your small group? I don't know. Who is it? But identify the who. Then do this. Identify the need. What is it around you, the people that you've identified? What do they need? Is it encouragement? Is it time? Is it someone to listen? Is it someone to help them do their homework? What is it? Is it a little bit of, if you're an athlete, is it extra training that you need to help someone out with? Well, figure it out. Identify the need. And lastly, identify what you can do to help, and then do it. Identify what you can do to help, and then do it. It's that simple. Look, hey, before we head out, I want you to think of a person in your life who has had that type of influence on you. They've affected you in a positive way. And think about this question, what was it about them that allowed them to have an impact on you? And how did their impact influence your life for the good? See, in the same way that others have had that effect on you, you have the ability to have the same effect on other people. And that's why we have small groups, by the way, because the people that you're around have an effect on you, and you have an effect on them. That's literally the point of small groups. We want you to impact the people in those small groups, and that's why your small group leaders impact you. I guarantee if I asked probably 70% of you, if you had a list of people who impacted you, most of you would probably list your small group leader on there at some point. And there's a reason for that, because I know that they have influence, and I know that they'll have an impact on you. See, ultimately, God is the one who has the power to change people, but all you have to do is show up and offer what you have and let Him do the rest. And that's really it. Hey, I'm going to pray for us real quick, and then Colton's got one more song, and we're going to wrap it up. Hey, God, thanks so much for this day, and I pray that we just start to understand our influence, what that looks like for us. And it may be different for each one of us, and that group may be different, but I just encourage these students to figure out how they have influence, how they have impact, because they do, whether they realize it or not, their actions, their you effect, it impacts other people. And so today, God, I would just ask that you would begin to show us what that looks like in our lives. Father God, we're so thankful for this day. We love you and pray in your name. Amen. Hey, like I said, Colton's got one more song for you, and I'm going to bring it right back, and then we'll send you guys to small groups.
From the darkness, I called your name. Into darkness, your mercy came. You called me out, lifted me up. How great is your love? You bore my weakness, you took my shame, buried my burdens in fields of grace. You called me out, lifted me up. How great is your love? heights of heaven, you stepped down to earth. Innocent perfection, gave your life for us, and we are amazed. Oh, we stand in awe, for we have been changed by the power of the cross. How great, how great, how great is your love. How great, how great, how great is your love. How great, how great, how great is your love for us. In your kindness, you lead me on. In your presence, where I belong. And oh, you called me out, lifted me up. For how great is your love. From the heights of heaven, you stepped down to earth. Innocent perfection, gave your life for us, and we are amazed. Oh, we stand in awe, for we have been changed by the power of the cross. How great, how great, how great is your love. How great, how great, how great is your love. How great, how great, how great is your love for us. There has never been, there will never be a God like you, a love so true. There has never been, there will never be a God like you, a love so true. There has never been, there will never be a God like you, a love so true. There has never been, oh no, there will never be a God like you, a love so true. Yeah, how great, how great, how great is your love. How great, how great, how great is your love. How great, how great, how great is your love for us. How great, how great, how great is your love. How great, how great, how great is your love. How great, how great, how great is your love for us. How great, how great, how great is your love. How great, how great. Come on, just begin to sing that. How great, yeah. Come on, for there's truth in that. For how great is your love. How great, how great. For how great is your love for us, Jesus. For us.
Man, I love that song. Thanks, Colton, for bringing that tonight. That was awesome. Hey, a couple things I want to share with you guys really quick before we get you guys up to small groups. Number one is this, and most of you probably know this by now, but if you don't, I wanted to share this news with you so you could join us in praying. But about almost 2 weeks ago now, a good friend of ours, Stuart Hall, who you guys may know from Fall Weekend, spoke at Fall Weekend this past year, and actually shared with you guys some pretty personal stuff that weekend that he was there. He actually contracted COVID-19 a couple weeks back, and like I said, about 2 weeks ago now, almost, it was the Tuesday before Easter. They were taken to the hospital, and he had a heart attack just from complications from the virus. And so he's currently, right now, the last thing I heard is he's on a ventilator. They're working on getting him off of that. It's kind of been an up and down battle for the last week or so. And so I would just ask you guys, as he's a personal friend of mine, but also a good friend of ours at Centerpoint here as well, just to pray for Stuart and his family and what's going on there. And if you want to, too, on our Instagram story, we have a little blue heart on our story, and it's kind of just a symbolic reminder of Stuart's fight and Stuart's battle. And so if you want to share that, screenshot it and share it with people. I'm just encouraging them to pray for Stuart. That would be awesome. Because that little blue heart actually sits on his hospital window right now in Georgia, looking out kind of into the street. And so a lot of people have been coming to his hospital to pray with him just outside in the parking lot. Obviously, they can't go in with all the restrictions and virus stuff going on, but a lot of people have been showing up to pray there for him. And so obviously, we're in Ohio. We can't go down there to Georgia. But I would encourage you guys to pray for him and just as he continues to fight this fight. He's got a long road ahead, a long battle, but we believe that we have a God who can heal the broken, heal the sick, and that he can perform miracles, and that's what we're asking. So I would just ask you guys to maybe encourage your friends too to join us in praying for Stuart and his family. But yeah, so hey, want to let you guys know about that. Want to let you know about a couple things that we have going on this week. This is the first time we're trying this. It's a little bit different, so bear with us, and maybe it'll be fun. We'll see. I would love for you guys to join us, but check this out. This is kind of our schedule for the week. We want to engage with you guys and hang out with you more than just once on a Sunday. So Tuesday at 1 p.m., Colton's going to do some live worship on Instagram. We would love for you guys to check that out, 1 p.m., like I said, Instagram Live. Wednesday, we're going to do a Netflix party, which I'll explain to you in just a second. And then Thursday, a devotion time led either by me or Micah at 1 p.m. on our Instagram as well, going live. So would love for you guys to engage in those ways. On Wednesday night, like I said, we're going to do a Netflix party, which if you haven't done a Netflix party yet, you should try it out. You should come hang with us on Wednesday night. We're going to watch a movie together, basically just as a student group. And so in the chat right now, feel free to put any recommendations you have for the movie. It has to be on Netflix, obviously. But if you don't know how it works, Netflix Party, you have to have Google Chrome, and it is an extension. So you have to download Google Chrome as your browser, then type in Netflix Party extension, install that there. We will send you a link via email. So if you're interested in joining us, there is a link that the boys are going to put in the chat in just a second that has all it is simple. You just click on it, your name and email address, and we will send you the link to join us for Netflix on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. So get your popcorn and join us. It's going to be awesome. Obviously, we're doing a G-rated or PG-rated movie. We got middle schoolers joining us as well. So we gotta keep it family friendly for everybody. But if you have any recommendations of G or PG movies that are on Netflix, please throw them in the chat, and we'll put them on Instagram probably tomorrow and have a vote. See what we got. So that's what's coming up this week. We would love for you to join us and hang out with us. Obviously, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget about that so you can get updates about going live. And then any other videos we post as well, they will be on there. So we would love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It would mean a lot to us. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I've got for you tonight. I got to run in just a second because I got two little twin boys that got to go to sleep. They're already past their bedtime, and my wife is a hero because she's by herself hanging with them right now. So applause for Leah all around. She's the bomb.com. Anyway, I love you guys. I hope you guys have a great week. See you guys here in small groups in just a few minutes. And we will be back next Sunday, same time, same place. But ultimately, we hope to see you earlier than that because this week, Instagram Live, Tuesday, and Netflix Party Wednesday, and Thursday, Devo time. Oh, also, if you're bored and you're like, yo, I need some music to listen to, go check out the album on Spotify. Go stream that up, people. You got some worship to do at home by yourself. There you go. Perfect. Stream the CPSN Worship Collective album on Spotify. So check that out. We'll post a link to that as well in the chat. So hope you guys have a great night. I love you guys. Peace. See ya.